You correct your child's accent, thinking you're helping them fit in. You want them to have every advantage. But what if that one moment is actually doing the opposite? What if that correction is building an invisible wall between your child and their own voice? Today we're looking at the research that most parents never see. You've felt the urge to fix it. Most parents have. Maybe you're worried about their future, their social standing, or just being understood. But this one habit changes how much they speak, how they think, and how they see themselves. Stay with us because we're going to give you a multi-step framework that replaces correction with something much more powerful: identity-first parenting. We aren't just looking at speech, we're looking at the psychological foundation of your child. As parents with research backgrounds, we spent weeks digging into the data so you don't have to. It usually happens at dinner. They're excited, telling you about their day, and they trip over a sound. You gently nudge them toward the right way, and the story stops. Or maybe it's at the school gate. You hear another parent whisper, or you catch a look, and suddenly you feel the pressure to fix their speech before they're judged. This is the invisible wall. It's built one correction at a time. To the child, the message isn't about phonetics. It's about safety. They learn that speaking is risky. Studies show that when children are frequently corrected on their form rather than their content, their participation in conversation drops by as much as 40%. They simply stop trying. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the linguistic architecture of a bilingual brain. It's not a malfunction, it's a miracle of engineering. It's called phonological transfer. The brain is literally mapping two different sets of rules onto one mouth. Sounds from one language naturally bleed into the other as the brain optimizes for speed. This blend is not only normal, it's expected. It's a sign that your child is successfully navigating a complex cognitive landscape. It's a phase of high-level development, not a defect to be repaired. Think back to your own history, or the stories of those who came before you. Many of the most successful bilingual leaders today grew up with thick accents and blended sounds. They didn't succeed despite their accents. They succeeded because they maintained the confidence to communicate anyway. The accent was just the signature of their journey. What you see as a setback is actually a setup for a deeper cognitive flexibility. But that setup only works if the foundation of confidence remains intact. Perfection is the enemy of progress here. This is the confidence paradox. The more we push for perfect speech, the less willing speech we get. And language is a muscle that only grows through use, not through silence. Research into social belonging suggests that children who feel their home voice is being rejected also feel a sense of identity erosion. They begin to distance themselves from their heritage to avoid the shame of being wrong. But there's a hidden advantage that correction often masks. Research into brain plasticity reveals that bilingual children possess a unique neurological resilience. Every time they navigate an accent, they are exercising their prefrontal cortex. This is called cognitive reserve. The very effort of blending two phonetic systems builds a brain that is more efficient at task switching and problem solving. When we correct the accent, we risk making the child focus on the mechanics rather than the mastery. Their brains are literally rewiring themselves to handle complexity. An accent isn't a lack of precision. It's a byproduct of a brain that is doing twice as much work. It is a sign of extreme cognitive flexibility. Studies in executive function show that bilingual children often outperform their monolingual peers in focus and attention management. But this advantage relies on one critical factor: that they feel competent in both languages. Perception of competence is everything. So how do we move forward? We move to the identity-first framework. It's a multi-step shift in how we respond to our children's language development. It's about building the heart while the brain does its work. Step 1 is reflective modeling. Instead of saying no, say it like this, you simply repeat their meaning back to them correctly. I see the dragon becomes, yes, you see the big dragon. No shame, just exposure. Step 2 is public advocacy. When others correct them, you step in. They're doing the hard work of building two worlds at once. I think they're doing incredible. You show your child that you are on their team. Try this script with family or teachers. We're focusing on her content and confidence right now. Her accent is a natural part of her bilingual development, and we want her to feel proud of her ability to navigate both worlds. It sets a clear, research-backed boundary. Step 3 is identity anchoring. Remind them that their accent is a superpower. You speak 2 languages. That means your brain is twice as strong. Make their bilingualism a source of pride, not a source of corrections. They aren't learning to speak. They are mastering communication. Finally, provide autonomy support. Let them decide how they want to sound. As they grow, they will naturally refine their speech through social exposure. Your job isn't to be their speech coach, it's to be their safe harbor. There is a long-term benefit to this approach that spans generations. When we preserve the heritage accent, we preserve the heritage language. Language preservation is the key to maintaining the cultural thread that connects your child to their roots. In 20 years, your child won't remember the phonemes they missed at the dinner table, but they will remember whether they felt accepted or corrected. They will remember if their home was a place of safety or a place of scrutiny. Acceptance builds the bridge to their heritage. The accent is the signature of their dual identity. It is proof of their ability to live in 2 worlds. By protecting it, you are ensuring that they never feel the need to choose between their past and their future. You are giving them the gift of the whole self. What feels like a setback is often a setup. Confidence drives language, not perfection. So, as parents, let's take a stand. Let's make a manifesto for the bilingual home. A commitment to connection over correction. A commitment to the content of the heart over the form of the speech. This is where it changes everything. You're not fixing speech, you're building confidence. But look what happened. You adapted, improved, and succeeded. This is a common bilingual success path. When you make this shift, everything changes. You aren't just protecting their speech, you are protecting their heart. You are building a child who is brave enough to be heard, even when they aren't perfect. A quick bonus tip for natural improvement: the environment strategy. Focus on 5 minutes of low-pressure reading or audiobooks daily. Exposure, not correction, is the primary driver of phonetic refinement. Keep it fun. Think back to that dinner table. The silence, the looking down. Now imagine it differently. Imagine a child who keeps talking, knowing they are safe. Watch this again. You'll see the power of your response. Subscribe, comment, share, or we might start correcting you at dinner. See you next time. We're here to translate the research so you can be the best parent possible. Subscribe, comment, and share this with a fellow parent who needs to hear it. Or, well, you know what happens at dinner. See you next time. But what if that moment is doing the opposite?